Are we live?
It says we're live. Let's double check here. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Monday.
Hey, everybody. Hi, happy Monday.
I'm Corey,
I'm Lavander.
and we are
Corvander's
Corvander's Grill.
Hi, Sherry.
Oh, hello, Sherry. Welcome.
Let's make sure we're live in all
We're
our
going to make sure
places,
we're
'cause-
sharing this everywhere because we have a super special show tonight.
Yeah, we gotta make sure we're gonna make sure everybody's able to see us and that you
Yeah.
guys are catching all the things. So let's check camera one. Camera one to go. Camera two, boom, we're there. All right, how about camera three? Let's see where
Let's see. Camera three having some trouble here.
Camera
Let's
three is
see.
tricky. They say, three times the charm, but man, not on Corvander's Grill. Everybody's able to see
Oh,
us and-
okay. I'm hearing. Let me turn off that audio.
Wow, you guys are hearing. So we're gonna do a live commentary on what
On
we
our
just
on
did.
ourselves, yeah.
At the beginning there, you might hear like a little loud sounding noise. That's an ice machine.
I love it. All right. We're doing a test.
All right.
I can't wait to share this awesome show.
Okay.
Here we go. Just sharing
we're
this
doing things.
to my
So,
personal page.
if you're in the comments right now and you see the stream, please let us know that you can see us. Let us know that you're there so we know that everything is running as it's supposed to. There's no hiccups. Let us know if you can hear us. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a heart. Give us something. So we appreciate you all being on the stream today. And we have a really special, awesome show lined up for you. As you probably already read in the description, we got some really cool things for this Halloween season. We have I'll wait till the official announcement.
The official
make
announcement.
sure-
We're almost live in
just
all
to
of our
make sure we're-
places.
yeah, make sure we're live in all the places because we don't want anyone to miss out on this. So-
This is a good one. So we're gonna do this. Here we go. Did it go through? Almost
Maybe,
there.
maybe. Fingers crossed. Boom. Share it
Perfect.
to
And
your
then the
profile.
last one. Boom. Should be
Okay.
good. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Awesome. I'm hearing.
Is that
Thank you
people's
for.
on the stream?
Oh, it was me.
Thank you, Corey Cuber.
Wow.
You shared the stream. Oh man, how phenomenal
Doing it.
is that?
I'm such a big fan of the show, so I try to get it out there for everyone.
Slacker Lavander. He didn't share the screen. That didn't come across the screen.
Hi, Margarita. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So exciting. So, for those of you who've been following along for a while now, you know a few things. You may know that we have been hosting spooky season here this month, getting ready for Halloween.
Yes.
Almost here. And in line with spooky season comes all of the aspects of the supernatural, the unexplainable. And so in that spirit, no pun intended, we have a very special guest tonight. If you've been following my streams, even back before we started Corvander's Grill, I had the special guest on, and we did a very similar show, and it was really exciting. Rave reviews, a lot of people got a lot of value out of those, and so we are bringing this very special guest back
You all
tonight.
couldn't get enough of
Yes.
the special guests, and so we decided to bring back our dear friend Randy.
Woo, woo, woo. And in a moment, I'm going to bring her on screen. But before I do that, I want to share with all of you how exciting this, or how this exciting little show is going to work. So I'm going to bring Randy on. I'm going to let her introduce herself. Randy is an amazing psychic, and she has a gift for finding very specific things about people that we're not talking the standard like, oh, I see success in your future, right? Randy can get right in there. I've seen her call out specific ailments, people's names, specific times and dates, all sorts of really fun things. She has been a psychic for many people for many years, including celebrities. I think she should have her own TV show because she's quite talented.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to have her here tonight offering some brief readings for our amazing viewers. That's you.
Yes. And if you would like to receive a reading, again, we may not be able to get through everyone, but please make sure you go to Corvander's Grill and jump into the comments there so that we can see that you are interested in receiving a reading. So make sure you go to actually the Corvander's Grill page, post into the comments so that we can see your comments there.
Yes, thank you. It may now everywhere you're seeing this may not have the full Zoom details. So if you don't see it, it means you're probably not on the Corvander's Grill page. So we're currently streaming this over to, again, our Facebook page, Corvander's Grill. That's where you can find the Zoom details. Yes. Also on our YouTube.
Facebook.com/Corvander's Grill.
We also have a YouTube channel at Twitch. So if you haven't already subscribed and followed over there, please do that as well so you never miss these streams.
Yes.
And you can also get the Zoom details over there. Any other details we should let them know before we jump in?
Also, Zoom, if you are on the Zoom, please make sure you change your name to your name so that we know who you are and that we can admit you into the space so that we don't have any hiccups there. So other than that, I think we should just jump right into it because everyone's waiting for the fun part.
Awesome. And also, if you do know you're going to be joining the stream, it would support us to get to you sooner if you comment in the actual Corvander's Grill page that you are joining so that we know to look for you inside of the Zoom. So again, over at the Corvander's Grill page, just drop a comment saying, hey, I'm joining the Zoom. Would love a free reading. And we'll get to as many people as we can. But again, we have limited time with our amazing friend, Randy. So let's go ahead and bring our amazing guest on screen.
Drum roll.
Welcome, Randy. You are on.
I wish I had a broomstick to because a lot of people are, who have never had readings. They're always very skeptical, and as many as referrals as I get, I always ask the one question to somebody that's new, and I say, so and so explain this to you, and then nobody ever explains it. And I think that's the beauty of it, because it really isn't anything that you can explain. Everybody is unique. There's no format. It's like as soon as I call someone on the phone, bam, the doors open up. And a lot of times, just let the viewers know that I reach the people who have passed as well as things that are current. Anybody could predict, what's going to happen in 10 years because who knows who'll be here in 10 years. So there's really no validity to that. But the things that I talk about are really things that are happening. I kind of piggyback into through your eyes, I see things. And so as an empath, I could actually feel it. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of energy out there. And a lot of people I know want to travel, and they're just hesitant about it. So I might as well just get started. Who was talking about, or either they canceled a trip or they're scheduling one as we speak? Is anybody? And there might be somebody named either Heather or Rose, some sort of a flower that's also around them.
It's so funny you say that because I know you can't see the chat right now, Randy. But right before you said that, someone, Miss Amber Rose, just commented. So hold on, I'm actually gonna do something. I'm going to, because we do have some people who are joining the Zoom, and I know Randy. For those of you who haven't seen Randy before, she picks up on whatever, like whoever is present for a reading. She will pick up on all sorts of people's energies, and it can be extra challenging when we have these groups because she might be picking up on someone in the comments or one of you who are just watching the stream. If you're here and you're energies available for Randy, then she will potentially pick up on you. So we're going to attempt to hone in on the people we actually have, and we're going to bring a few of them on video, and maybe that will open the floodgates, for those specific people. I'm just trying to move the chat here.
That's so funny that you immediately went through
I know.
Rose and like Amber had just
I
commented.
know,
like,
that was so perfect.
so if you're watching, you're already seeing how this works. And like Corey said, Randy can't see the comments right now. So.
Randy, okay, so I'm just moving the chat
Yeah,
out
Amber,
of
if you want to log on to
Because
the
I'm
Zoom.
getting lots of stuff. Somebody got cats and stuff. I don't know if somebody got a cat or, but there's lots of things coming in. So.
Why don't we bring in the first person who's in the Zoom?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring on.
And we'll work on getting Amber into the Zoom as well. Amber, she commented on the thread.
Yeah, Amber, you're welcome to join the Zoom. I also see Margarita in the comments. You're welcome to join as well. And hello, Miss Sherry, you're on.
Hey, Sherry.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Randy?
I'm doing good. So anyway, there's some traveling. I think you're the one that needs to be traveling.
I literally was just in a group chat and then with my boyfriend talking about going to Pigeon Forge in May.
Absolutely. But did somebody pass away on his side of the family?
Not that I know.
But I hear you hearing about somebody, and I know, and I don't even think it's COVID related. I think it's just somebody that's very elderly.
Okay.
And you'll hear, it's just something that you hear. It's kind of going through your head. But then you also checking your headphones or your earbuds, something that you need to get to listen to either music or podcasts. So I don't know if you had any conversations about that. I mean, there's just little stuff that's it's kind of like the floodgates in your head because, I know you, but I mean, it's like all this debris. So
there's so much going on. So yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There is so much that you almost, the way to slow it down, Sherry, is going to sound crazy, but just stand in the middle of the living room and kind of like clockwise, turn around 3 times. And by spinning, you stop that influx of all that information.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of information that people are asking you, and you really don't want to be in that position where everyone's asking you what to do at this point.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
And something about your neck. I don't know if your neck's been hurting and stuff. But
I get wrinkly. Just wrinkles.
No. But there's something around. But there's something like in the back of your neck. So I would just and that could be, and if it's not hurting you within 2 or 3 days, sorry, it will be. So just put some like BioFreeze or something like that, and that's preventive stuff. Okay. I choose not to see anything bad, just to let the viewers know. But I always see preventive stuff.
Thank you.
So what questions do you have for me, Sherry?
I don't know. Do you see anything good coming?
Yeah, I actually see it's unexpected. It's unexpected people. It's really more people-based as opposed to things happening.
Okay.
It's kind of like a domino effect. Something will happen to one person and it kind of goes around in a circle. You now have a very different circle of friends.
I just got a new circle of friends. Yeah. A couple friends now because I've been single for so long.
Right. But there's a circle of friends that's really quite interesting.
They are.
And I don't know if one has any ties to Native America or Colorado, something with mountains. That's what I'm seeing, mountains.
My cousin just came into my life and she's from Colorado. So
okay. Is there like an N or an M around her, first or last initial that you know of?
I can't think right now. I can't.
Okay. But I also see you wearing a ring. I also see you getting a ring.
Oh, that was nice. Hello, boyfriend. Sign up.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, February, it's funny with the COVID, I tell a lot of my clients this. Prior to COVID, people were really good for maybe a month to really see for themselves. And so all my readings were really only maybe a month out.
Mhm.
Occasionally, somebody could do a 6-monther, but that was usually a person who was a planner, very organized, very
Right.
structured.
Right.
Once COVID hit, within 2 months of COVID, I absolutely saw the shift that most people, because people were fearing, for their lives basically, could really see, and they pushed that needle into almost a year. Because I can see things now through people's eyes, almost a year in advance, because
Mhm.
people have allowed themselves to really push themselves. So that's kind of an interesting thing. But I can see a ring for you. So
All right. I like it. Thank
okay.
you, Randy.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome, honey.
And we do
Wow.
have, can you still hear
Love
us
you.
okay?
Okay, love you too.
We,
Okay,
all
Corey
right,
Lavander.
perfect. Yep. There we go. Just making sure you can hear me in the Zoom as well. So, thank you, Sherry. We do have someone else standing by. And let's go ahead and bring in our other special guest.
And while we're getting that going, welcome to all who just joined in the comments. Remember to, if you're interested in receiving a reading, make sure you post in the comments that you're interested. And before joining the Zoom, make sure you change your name so that we know who you are. We can recognize it.
Yes, I did see we had someone in the comments. Ginger, you're welcome to join for a reading if you'd like to join the Zoom.
And hello, Ginger. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. All right.
Okay, someone do it's Amber. So
Amber,
yeah,
yep,
Amber,
you're up.
you came in loud and clear.
That was hilarious. That was
Loud and
so instant. Even for Facebook, was always a delay, and there was nothing. It was like, oh,
No, that's how, I see things. I've done readings I'm always doing readings, but there's certain things where I'll be talking with a client, and out of nowhere, somebody, it's usually the deceased, that get very greedy. One wants to go in front of the other. And so a lot of times I'll even interrupt myself because there's other people that are interrupting. But the rose, I could actually smell the roses. And that's why I said that.
wow.
So that's really, really good vibes. But I have to tell you, you're on a journey right now, very, very different. Your journey started really about 4 or 5 months ago, and it's a very different journey. And there's been lots of tears, lots of fears. Because as an empath, I could actually feel, being so scared and stuff. Stop being scared. You know,
Okay.
Stop being scared. What you need to do is, and I don't know if you can see my hands, but like like in front of your chest, and there's been some chest issues, go like this, just push it away, as if you're shooing something away. And just do it for a couple of seconds. Okay. Has any lights been flickering in your house?
Oh, crazy. I'm very connected at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. You know, um, Out loud, what I would say is, only those that can help me are welcome. If you
Okay.
cannot help me, you need to leave.
Okay.
Because also in the last 2 months, you've been getting a lot of mixed signals from lots of people, even from doctors. People,
Agreed.
people saying one thing, but then you're feeling a different way. And then certain, it's kind of like a mathematical equation. I see lots of equations around you, lots of numbers, if that makes any sense. But I see it's kind of like saying 2 and 2 is 6, and you're trying to convince somebody, no, it's not 6, it's really 4. and, and but that's like some of the report you're getting, some medical reports that the reports are not accurate.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you have to get every medical thing that you need to get so that you can read it.
Okay.
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 Do not rely on, because I just see some numbers that are not correct.
Okay.
And so that affects you. And even some medicine. I don't know if did you change your medicines? There's one medicine.
This year I changed my medicine.
Yeah, and that was better. And there's also, are you allergic to something really weird?
No, I don't know of it yet.
Okay.
that I am in particular.
Yeah, and it might be something, not that you're necessarily allergic, but it's like, for example, if I eat like nuts and stuff, I will not feel good the whole day.
Okay.
Or if I eat oatmeal, it's a weird, there's a weird thing with my body where I just don't feel right.
Feel right with it.
That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So, if you're trying something new, just eat a little of it to see how it makes you feel.
Okay.
Because
Wary.
your taste buds are off as well.
Okay.
So, okay. And also the shoulders. Is there any marks like around your shoulders? Interesting.
Yes.
I'm,
On the back of my shoulders, there are some.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, you need to do a lot of this kind of stuff. And however, do you have a daughter?
I do.
Yeah. Your daughter has some interesting news for you.
Interesting news.
Yeah,
Harassed daughter.
yeah, you would say, interesting, interesting. But she's there for you.
Okay.
Okay. Not necessarily always been the case, but this time it is.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Did she have when she was younger, did she have any issues with her ears?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. She should also, there's something, I mean, I don't know. Because the weird stuff has happened in my past. I mean, like really weird. I'm not a student where I always want to learn, because when I put myself in that position, really like really bizarre stuff happens, stuff that would scare me, voices on tapes that people would tape me. So I don't have anybody taping me anymore. But so she can just check, but there's something I think she needs to put, and this may again sound crazy, but a white crystal. She needs to put a white crystal near her left ear, almost like touching this part. Not, don't put it in, but just kind of like laying on it.
Okay.
Okay. And I also believe that she's very intuitive, and
Yes.
she needs to really follow through with that.
It's a weird thing. I would love to have a conversation because it's like,
No? Yeah.
she's amazing, and yet she's covered in cotton wool. She's so insular
I know.
that she
I
doesn't
know.
even know how smart she
I
is.
know. I
She's
know.
the psychic in the room. I'm like, where is this?
Well,
And
the
she
funny thing
knows.
is that, and I've been doing this since I was in college, since I was like 17, 18 years old. So it's been a lot of years. And a lot of people will say to me, oh, I'm psychic too. And I go, no kidding, because I never pick up on that. I can tell you maybe in thousands of readings, maybe I'll give the benefit of the doubt, maybe 10 times I've ever felt it. So it's quite interesting that I felt it with your daughter.
She's funny. She's funny that
Okay.
way.
And do people misspell her name?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of R's around her. A lot of R's. R's
lot of
are
Rs.
good. R's
There's-
are really good.
Ours are good.
Yeah. And the number 8 is very good. 8 is very good around her as well.
Okay.
Okay, doke.
Excellent. One question.
Sure.
My friend Chrissy, who's passed.
Does she always point? She's saying, now what?
Now
That's-
what?
Now what?
Now what?
Am I right? Now what? And she's also saying, but I also see her having trouble breathing and stuff, and being very scared that she couldn't breathe. And I just hear her saying, now what? And then she's saying some she's cursing.
Not a girl. Okay.
And she says, I'm saving a spot up here for you. That's kind of what she's saying. I'm saving a spot up here, but she's saying, don't come so quickly. Because, when anybody passes, and I tell everybody this, there is no concept of time when you pass. So it's
Right.
literally a moment. It's a moment. It's like when you go
I
to
feel
sleep.
like she has not left me since she left.
Oh, no, and she hasn't. A lot of times you'll feel a tapping. I think that's where I'm getting the shoulders. You'll feel a tapping.
Yeah.
And it's a very light tapping, but she's really saying, "What the fuck happened to me?" That's what she's saying. Just,
She planned on
do
a
you believe
longer
that?
trip.
Yeah, do you believe this crap?
Yeah,
So she's saying, "Come here, and then we'll go with the next life because you'll be next life." I think you were sisters in a previous life, so
for sure.
you'll come back probably after you pass, probably in about 40 to 60 years after that. You'll both pass together. So she's good, and she used to. Do you have a ring of hers?
No, I don't. I wish I did.
Something, yeah. Something circular, also with flowers
Circular.
on it.
Circular with flowers.
It's a ring with that has like engraving of flowers.
I haven't been able to get to where she lived because of COVID.
Right.
So I'm sure that'll be interesting to see what pops up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I hope you enjoy this.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Corey. Corey, I can't hear you.
Whoop, sorry. There we go. I was just saying thank you, Amber, and we do have someone else in the waiting room. We'll bring on in just a moment. What were we gonna say, Lavander?
Yeah, I was just saying that was amazing.
Oh.
So I know we have people who are joining the stream, and again, we just want to reiterate that if you're interested in receiving a live reading and joining the Zoom, please make sure you let us know in the comments on the Corvanders Girl page, and also make sure you change your name inside of Zoom so we can identify who you are. So thank you to all our new followers and new viewers who are watching, and be sure to share out this stream with your friends and family so they may also receive a free reading.
Yes, if there's anyone that you know that would like to jump on the Zoom right now, feel free to send them this link so they can benefit from getting to meet with the amazing Randy. And hello, Can Nicole in the comments. You're welcome to
Hello.
join the Zoom. Welcome. And I think we have Miss Leslie here. Let's go ahead and bring her on. Looks like, oh, there she is. I don't think you're, it says connecting to audio.
Okay.
Yay!
There
You're
we
on,
go.
Leslie.
Leslie, I think your audio is muted. There we go.
Yes,
Okay,
I just
yeah.
unmuted.
Ah,
Perfect.
perfect. All right.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Okay, I'm just curious because I was feeling that somebody has a cat. So I don't know. Do you have a cat? For
No.
somebody, I'm gonna be speaking to somebody that. Are you allergic to cats?
I have a dog.
A dog? No, no, no. So the cat is for somebody else. Okay. Um, with the dog, but I see you having like two dogs. So
I did.
yeah, the other one is very much around you.
Mm-hmm.
Very much around you. Do you dream of that particular little fur baby?
No.
You will. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
I mean, very, 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 very soon. And I don't know what is. Was anybody talking about going to a concert? I mean, here. Let me just throw out because there's lots of things kind of around you. The word bonzo, if that means anything, or the letter B, first or last initial.
Of somebody?
Yeah, that's around you. I also see a Frank, so I don't know if it's you or somebody else that I haven't read yet.
Well, a B, I just started talking to somebody with the initial B.
Uh-huh. Okay. It's kind of curious if they have a cat. A lot of times I see things extremely abstract, and then we go around, full
There's a
circle.
cat wanders the neighborhood that seems to like the hood of my car.
Ah, okay. Does that happen pretty often?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why the cat came up. Okay, that's why the
Mhm.
cat came up. When you see the cat next time, call it Bonzo. Say
Bonzo.
call it Bonzo off.
Okay.
Okay, for some crazy reason,
Uh,
Also, did you get a machine? I don't know if it's an air fryer, but I just see there's something that you need to buy or somebody's going to give you, they're going to gift you. But it has to do with either food or juices.
Okay.
So yeah, it's because I just see you, I see you busy with with your hands. So I don't know if you work with your hands and stuff, but I
Yeah.
just see you do work with your hands. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and you need strength in your hands.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, are you like a healer?
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, you've done that a lot of lifetimes,
Mhm.
a lot of lifetimes.
Mhm.
Like I'm going to go back to the days of Egypt,
Mhm.
lifetimes.
Mhm.
And there have been people,
That have revisited me.
yeah, but there have been people because, you know, as an empath, I'm just getting really like over emotional. There have been
Mhm.
people who have passed who have been visiting you, who are right around you. And it's almost like it's almost hard. It is. It's very difficult for you to almost acknowledge them because to acknowledge them means that they're quote gone, and you don't want them to be gone. So it is a really, it's really been a hard time.
Is this people that are close to me or people that I have worked with?
People you, I think, well, it's both. The one that's really getting you the most is somebody that you worked with that is gone.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that it could have been prevented in terms of there could have been more time.
And this was lifetimes ago.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of,
Do
you
you,
know, it's
do you know
like,
what happened at my place of employment?
do I
Like,
know what happened?
do you know if it happened at the place where I'm working currently?
Oh, yes. I think there's also a corner. If you go there's a spot that's quite cold.
Mm-hmm.
And and yet when you go to this place that's kind of cold, you're
Mm-hmm.
sweating.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like you're not nothing's matching up, you know. So that's how you know. And it when you get there, your breathing actually gets very erratic. And it's almost like, see, if that was me, because I get scared, even though I do this stuff, I get scared. I wouldn't even go, I wouldn't even go there, you know.
No.
But you have to, you have to have some sort of closure, and that's what you're just. I mean, you're at a loss. I could feel it. You're at a loss because for you to have closure means you have to walk away from it. And you are an individual who never walks away from anything, ever, 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 ever. I can say that 1,000 times and you just don't, you know? But at this time, you need to, for your own self-preservation, you need to start putting things to bed, as they say, because it's interfering with your thought process. You know, like I call it the shadow. When you could be doing something and all of a sudden the shadow appears, it just comes into your head, and it's very difficult to get it out of your head. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, and as I had, you know, said to, you know, someone before, to do this, what you need to do, which I don't think I've ever told anybody, because you know, I don't remember what I tell people, but I always know when it's something that I've never said for
Mhm.
some strange reason. It's always like a flag, and I've never told anybody this. But instead of pushing it away, this is what you need to do. You need to push it towards you, because after all, these people live in your heart. Your heart's like a fuel pump, you know, and you it's like you want to take over for what the people came before you. You want to continue what they were doing to keep them alive. And they're even saying you're working way too hard on this. You know, let me just rest. And that's the thing, you know, because you don't know, by keeping this alive, if you're preventing them from really resting. And it's really, those things that are in the I mean, I grew up in Brooklyn, but the roundabout, when you go into a building and they have, instead of the doors, it's that is exact. If I had to describe you and people who have passed on, that's what it's like. People just going around in a circle. It's not like you think about just the one person. It's a multitude of people. And so you get no rest. You get no rest. You need to get rest. Okay?
Mhm.
Because, and part of you actually hides behind them,
Mhm. Okay.
because that's not your only purpose. That is not your purpose in life. One of the things in your life is to remember, and that's
Mhm.
okay because it's inherent in all of your lives that you just don't let go. And there are certain things that have happened in this life that you are absolutely aware that you have lived previously. It's not the deja vu feeling. It's this is so familiar. I know there's something to this. And
Mhm.
that's what I tell everyone, there's, it could be a certain type of music where it's not like that you love it, but you go into it.
Mhm.
It's like climbing in, like you could look at landscapes and pictures and you have the ability to absolutely be there. And it's usually where there's water. It's usually like a lake of some sort. Different. You're very much into structures. If that makes any sense. Whether it be huts or houses or buildings, something with architecture and archaeology, something with arches. If you look in the dictionary, the ARCH, anything with those words, that's really what's really around you in all your lives. So even the Vatican, like archangels,
Mhm.
you know, there's feathers, anything relating to ARCH. Just open up Mr. Webster and just start looking down. And those are things that are absolutely relatable to you in this lifetime. But it also is a synopsis of all your previous lives together, you know? But you'll push people away. I mean, when you get a thought in your head, oh, you push people away. You're like, out of my way. I'm on a mission. In every life, you're on a mission. So give yourself a break. Don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself a break. You will not find all the answers,
Mhm.
and that's something that you have a hard time accepting. You don't need. It's like the people who are caught, and this is for a lot of the viewers out there. Those of you that say, oh, well, I have to know what the cause of something is. It gets a point in life, it doesn't really make a difference what the cause is because you're left with what you have to deal with.
Mhm.
So there's the same thing, especially with you. It doesn't make a difference what's happened in lifetimes ago. Certain things, that song, what is it? Let it go. Let it go. You know, don't be so hard on yourself. Nobody who's passed wants you to be so hard on yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And something about camels. I don't know if somebody years ago smoked camels or the actual animal camels, but there's camels around. So
Okay.
okay. Nice
Okay.
meeting you.
You as well. Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Do you see anything with this person I just started talking to?
Um, I think there's certain things that you think that they've exaggerated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I believe that they're pretty upfront. They have a great sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key. If anybody can make you laugh, that's the test. If they can make you laugh, they're okay. Um, too serious is not good for you. Too serious because they go off on tangents and you're like, what the hell are they talking about? No. So they need to keep it light, keep it, although, you can get very deep,
Mm-hmm.
but that's after the relationship is on, after the first tier,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
always say relationships are like a ladder and depends on what step you're on. So in the very beginning, they have to make you laugh and have a really good outlook on life. Negativity is the quickest way out the door for you.
Mhm.
They're negative. So I would continue talking to this person. Does this person have a brother?
I'm not. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So I would continue talking. And there may be a Nick or Mike around them, but that would be good. Okay?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye, Leslie.
Bye, Leslie. Thank you.
That was great. Okay. And looks like we have someone else coming in from the waiting room.
Okay. So, and while we're getting the next person from the waiting room, just a reminder, if you are interested in receiving a reading, please make sure you comment on the Corvander's Girl page. Let us know that, hey, want to receive a reading. Make sure your name matches so that we know who you are and that we're admitting real people into these sessions so that we can continue to keep the ball rolling.
Yes, and welcome Ume Nohana and YouTube. I saw you commented. Just make sure that your name in the Zoom matches so we know that's you. And you're welcome to join for a reading.
Yay.
And welcome to our new guest.
Susie. Hi,
Welcome, Susie.
Susie Analog is in the house on Corvander's Grill.
Okay. I love the never normal. Meanwhile, you are more normal than most people. Okay. You really are. You really are. It's just that people just don't get you. So that's why you may think, why you may say never normal, but you really are. So here's some crazy stuff that's coming through. Something about a dentist appointment. Has anybody mentioned to you going to the dentist or a cleaning? I'm just trying.
Get the text like every week to come. I get the text. I have some dental work to do. I know.
Yes. Okay. Because for some reason that's important that you do. Because otherwise, if you don't, there's going to be additional problems.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
so
good
that,
to know.
okay. So definitely do that. Okay. Do you know anybody with either a V or a Z, first or last initial?
Z Susie in my name. Susie. A Z is in my artist name.
Okay. There's something going on with that person. Does that make sense?
Oh, if I know, do I know somebody with a Z
Yes.
or a V?
Yes.
V or V, 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 V.
Yeah, it's just a matter. We just got to connect the dots.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know
No
anybody
Z.
offhand? V or a Z?
And a first name or last name, right, Randy?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let me switch because a lot of times it'll come later.
Mhm.
Who it's either the other initial I see is either a C or a K. It's kind of like a k sound. So first or last initial,
Okay.
and they may have spoken to you within a day or so ago.
I
And something
spoke with
that,
them recently.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Is there something with their car?
With a car?
Yeah, around that
Some
person.
like that person.
Yeah,
There's a car.
yeah, I'm just seeing that they're talking to you either about a car, either something happened with their car or they're getting a new car. I'm just trying to get to who this person is that's around you.
I'm looking through my phone just to even
Well,
jog my
it would
memory.
be probably in the last 2 days, so it's not something that would have happened last week or whatever. But if somebody
Mhm.
speaks to you, like even tomorrow, there's just something about a car that I think that they need to get a car service. And again, this is
I need
something,
to get my car serviced because I got a dent in it during retrograde.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't surprise me. What questions do you have for me?
Okay, well, I feel like I am I'm a Leo, so I'm like a cat. Like I feel like I have 9 lives. I actually feel like a new life is starting, and like everything around me is telling me like I'm going in these good directions of the things that I always wanted to happen on my own terms.
Okay.
But I'm just, but also like to counter that, it took, you know, blocking out like a lot of negative energy, and like also losing friendships and things that I thought were the like real friendships
Yeah,
and
yeah,
real things.
yeah. Let me stop you because before I don't know if you had listened where I said who there's something with a cat. There's something with a cat, and I had asked, you know, I think it was Leslie. I had asked her about cats or whatever. So yeah,
Mm,
so this was definitely about you. Um, in terms, even though she had a cat on the hood of her car, but in terms of that, you're going to go through another cycle of it's kind of like a regurgitation of the road that you're on right now is a very short traveled road. You're going to lose interest in it very quickly. If something bores you, you're done. You know, it's really difficult for you. It's kind of like when you're on a road and there's a detour.
mm,
It's a very short detour. Like you just got to go around the block and then you're back on the road. So
mm,
this is a very short period of time. I would say probably, so don't make any major plans because in about 2 weeks, you'll be on the road that's going to last you a longer time.
mm.
Okay. Um, and there are different people, and I don't know if it's schooling, but but you're so on a different position. You're in places that you normally would not have been in. And I see you traveling to places that you normally wouldn't have thought that you would go to, but you will. And you know, and I don't necessarily see the travel until maybe January, February, you know. Um, People are going to want to, and I think the ones that you shed, kind of like I have a snake sheds, that's what you've done. You've shed, uh, people were telling you things to do, and for a long time you listened to them, but it didn't bring you happiness, and it certainly was a lot of bad choices. You know, some of them pretty scary choices, if that makes any sense.
Mm.
So now you're kind of like on your own, and that's kind of scary too. Very scary because this is the first time you're really not going to listen to what everybody else thinks. You know, but before you would say to somebody, "What do you think?" And then you get there, "And what do you think?" And then what do you think? And then collectively you would decide on what the mass public, you know, all your friends wanted you. And you know what? Here's the thing. Very few people know only you are finding things out about yourself that you've never really knew before.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're asking other people what they think, they're only basing that on what they see. But what they see is not really who you are.
That's what I've been going through.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's really it's I would call this is an awakening for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's an awakening. So don't make I would not be making any major decisions at all, only because the awakening doesn't happen overnight. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're like a baby. You know, it takes a year for baby to walk, basically. So just um, kind of like bask in those feelings that you have and don't push it. It's going to happen authentically. It's going to happen naturally. People, you will see, people are going to be put in your path and you're going to go, holy crap, how did that happen? Because you're used to putting people in your path.
Mm.
You're used to going out of your way to make sure these people are in your path. Now I'm saying, sit back, okay? It's
Mm-hmm.
really difficult for you to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Sit back and let it just happen because I'm telling you, it's going to just happen. The reason you have 9 lives is because you always fast forward. I'm telling you, fast forward is something that you want to do with your life, but it doesn't afford you the life you want. So you have to rewire yourself and say, fast forward will not get me there sooner.
Mhm.
I need to pull back.
Mhm.
So I'm telling you, that is so difficult for you. I could feel it. It's so difficult. Oh, you're going to have such a fight within yourself because you're going to want to just zoom out there. And I'm saying at least till the end of the year, actually, just chill.
Mhm.
You know, don't pass judgment. If somebody says, "What do you think about that?" I'm thinking about it.
That's it. Don't put too much on it.
Nope. Don't make any major, even because normally you would never say that. You would never say, "I'm thinking about it." You would say, "I thought about it," and blah blah blah. I'm
Right.
telling you, savor. It's like having the best dessert. Savor it, because you're gonna uncover so many things about yourself that you were not really aware of.
Mhm.
And it's a gem. You're gonna find gems within yourself.
Yeah, I feel like that's the direction things have been going during the retrograde. I started to just get comfortable with doing that, to not even push, to just vibe. And I saw the difference. Because you're right, I am somebody that puts myself out there a lot.
Right.
Um, and so I've just been wondering in terms of like there were friendships and things that I thought were like, these are the cornerstone friendships, but they turned out to be not so deep. And
Correct.
I do, I'm wondering, like, will that type of friendly intimacy be replaced in my life?
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
first quarter of next year. The
Oh
first
wow.
quarter of next year. That's why
Mhm.
I said we're in with this COVID scenario where I see things being pushed out. You need to just kind of tread really lightly,
Mhm.
and for some reason,
Mm.
warm water. If you could turn on sounds of a brook with running water,
Mm.
that really unleashes lots of thoughts within you. It's almost
Mm.
like a lot of nature sounds, which is so bizarre because normally you never really viewed yourself as a nature girl,
Mhm.
but it's an awakening. And
Mhm.
that's the key thing. Look, anything that you do, say to yourself, is this an awakening?
Mm.
And that's the road that you're on to the end
Mhm.
of the year.
Mm.
But it has to be, and if it's not an awakening, don't
It's,
do it. Don't
yeah.
do it. Because
Yeah.
I will tell you, your roads are so close together. Because
Mm.
that's I see roads for people, I see paths. Your roads are literally one lined up next to the other.
Mm.
So in the past, when you were going down one road and things, if you look back after this call, if you look back in your life, you'll see that when things started going sour or not the way you wanted, it wasn't like you did anything major. You may have moved this much, but because your roads they're almost touching, you would sway real easily without even knowing. It's kind of like going into another lane without knowing you're going into the other lane. And you don't have that little beep beep in the car to tell you, whoops, get back in your lane. So that's why you need to say to yourself, is this an awakening? Is this
Mhm.
something new for me? Because that's the road you need to be on. And you'll meet people just by kind of chilling and hanging out. You will be This is part of that destiny where you will meet people and you're going to say, like, even 6 months from now, I could hear you saying, I just can't believe that I am where I'm at now.
I
I never would have thought that.
In a
Okay.
good way though,
Oh,
right?
yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. You
Yeah.
know, but I would change never normal to too much normal.
That's the name of my business. Never normal. Well, we're representing it
I
is what
know.
should be normalized. Yeah, to
Yes.
be out. So, but
Yes.
I love that. I love that because that means our presence, how you're saying our presence will be maximized, and I
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
an awakening. Start using that word awakening.
Awakening. I love that.
It's
Yeah.
really,
So
it's a word that brings light. There's lots of light around you. So
Yeah.
that's really what you need is this light, the lightness of being,
Yes, you're right.
you know. So
So
that's
in that context, then it seems like next year will be like a successful year. I've had like a pretty successful year this year, but it was like half
well,
lockdown.
well, the thing is, you kind of zigzag. You're in a zigzaggy format where if we didn't have this conversation, you'd be zigzagging along, and you'd be zagging more than zigging. So therefore, now you need clarity.
Yes.
So hopefully, I've given you the clarity of that enlightenment. But
Yes.
awakening is your word. I would post that all over you. Awakening.
Awakening. I love that as a
It's a
director.
great, it's a great word, and it's well suited. And if you
Yes.
even if you ever got jewelry, awakening, the awakening, there's something about it that just like the phoenix, it's just within you.
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
love that. I love that. And I just want to ask one more question. So, I have a very, very, very few close people in my life right now. Are these the right people in my life to help me to support this awakening?
There's 3 or 4 people that are really good around you. There's 3 or 4 people. I see like 3 girls and a guy, you know. So, okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Thanks so much. Have a
You're
great night.
welcome. You're welcome. Can't hear you.
Forgot to we're eliminated the echo problem, but now we keep forgetting to unmute ourselves here. We were just saying thank you so much, Susie, for joining us.
Yes,
And
thank you, Susie Analog, for joining us. I think Awakening is probably gonna be the next, project, the next album title. Who knows? That was so
I love that.
awesome.
That was perfect. And I think we have time for one more person. And we have a few in the waiting room. I did see a few comments from some people. So Jylin or Jaylin, hello and welcome.
Hello.
Martin
Hi, Martin.
and Tyra as well. And
Hello.
and
And
Ian.
You know what? Let me do Martin because a Marty came into my head. One of the previous-
Well, Martin is actually not in the waiting room currently, just in the comments. I do think Martin would love you. Although you were saying some stuff to Susie Analog that I think might apply to someone we have in the waiting room and who happens to be next. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in our next guest.
Okay. And while we're bringing that next person in, remember, if you're in the comments, we only have a limited time for this show. So if you're interested in a reading with Randy, please continue to watch our show. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow our stream. Make sure you also share these out to your friends. And we'll also be providing information on how to contact Randy as well if you'd like to receive a reading after the show.
If people want, I have half hour or hourly readings, and there's my phone number.
And it's also at the top of the
Hello.
screen as well. So
Yes.
anyone who's seeing this, you're welcome to text that number and make an appointment with Randy for a full half hour or hour reading and go more in depth and create an action plan for you where you're at in your life right now and get insights. So, but welcome, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
And I know you were messaging with us, Steve. If you could share maybe what you shared, because that might support Randy as far as where to go.
Okay, Randy.
Hi, Steve.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
So you said 2 things, and the first thing was V in the name. I got V in both my first and last name. It's my last initial. And I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. So
okay, no,
I just wanted to say that.
there we. Were you laughing?
Yeah.
Something about balloons. Anything, does that make sense? Balloons. Okay, so let me, there have been sorrow in your life and you need to unload that sorrow and you need to be uplifted. and you've had people who you thought were uplifting, but they did not uplift you. They were on the selfish side. You have a
Yeah.
real problem. You have a real problem with selfish people.
Yeah.
Real problem. Um, everybody, not that everybody likes, and sometimes it's good, it's healthy to be selfish, So I'm not talking about the good selfish. I'm
Right,
talking
right.
about it's the me, fill the me bucket, fill the me bucket. And the thing is that you cannot teach somebody a core value. Either they have it or they don't have it. And I'm sure that lots of other people would disagree with me, but from what I see so within people that you've had people who have behaved a certain way with you because they knew that's what you wanted. Not good. You know what I mean? Not good. So the sorrow, that begins the sorrow, the tears. I don't know if that person keeps coming back and forth in your life, you know. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, they're trying. They keep trying.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's been
Yeah,
the thing. It seems
yeah.
like.
That's when you do this. That's when you push away, and it's only because that it's a question of how much you want to get hurt.
Hmm.
The good times were really good, but if you're not going to get, I just see you've reached a point where, or at least with yourself, you're trying to convince yourself, this is who I am, this is where I want to go, this is who I want with me, and you're not going to settle.
Right.
And so you're at that point. However, with that said, it doesn't take much for somebody to come in and kind of, shelve all that talk that you've done inside your head, you know?
Mhm.
So it's a question of you're beyond the fork in the road.
Hmm.
You know what you have in front of you. You know what road you want to go, but yet you tend to go down the wrong road for that quick gratification.
Hmm. Interesting.
That quick gratification has long-term values to it. And here's the thing that I don't think you've ever really thought about. The longer you're going down that kind of a road, you have now stopped the timeline on the road that you're supposed to be on.
Got it.
And you're going to miss the people who you need to be bumping into. Because guess what? This is what's going to happen. You look at my hands, bam,
Hmm.
bam.
Hmm.
Because if you're with people that you shouldn't be with, and I don't mean that in a bad way, I'm just
And
saying
are you speaking in terms of like friendship or relationship?
relationship,
Okay.
relationship. But it should hold true. It should hold true actually for really any relationship. It really should hold true for the whole gamut. Because if you're in something and you intuitively know this is really not what I want, this is not healthy, then it stops you from being on the road where you need to be. And there's a timeline, and I always see the timeline in life, and there's missed opportunities, and a lot of those opportunities, for the people that say, well, it's destiny. What's going to happen is going to happen. I've never. That's fine if people want to believe that. Who am I to say that what someone should believe in or not? I've just never, even when I was little, I've never believed that because I always saw destiny, all moving parts. Things are destined to happen, and guess what? Bam, somebody comes in, and then something happens, or God forbid, 9/11 happens, and bam, that just, I don't believe that was destiny.
Right.
So therefore, things have a timeline. And for you, it's like a train. I'm going to use the analogy of a train. A train has stops. And when you in particular, Steve, are doing something that I don't think you should be doing, the train doesn't stop where it's supposed to stop. It just continues. And and you can see all the people left on that platform, and you can't go back.
Hmm.
So that's the only thing and that's a real important message for you, is because just make sure that what you're doing, and this is really for the next, I would say probably 2 to 3 months. The next 2 or 3 months is really going to really fine tune what all of next year is going to be all about and what it's going to bring. Do you do music at all?
I'm still, I guess, yes. Yes, the answer is
Yeah,
yes. But I
because
like, there's
it's
so
gonna,
much question. There's a giant question mark about that for
yeah,
me. And there has been for the past year or two.
yeah, because I see music and I see music and I see, I don't know if they're bongos and stuff, but I see percussion
Mm,
and it's not as developed as it needs to be.
hmm. What percussion?
Yeah,
Hmm,
does that make sense?
that's interesting. So when I first started in music, I was in school, in grade school, and I started in band, and I always wanted to do percussion, but there were too many people on percussion, so they put me on the horn, and I stayed on the horn ever since.
Uh-huh.
So it's just how it happened, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, you're going full circle here, my friend.
so I
Going
need
full
to
circle.
look into percussion.
Yeah, going full circle. Yeah.
Hmm,
Do you have any
exciting.
questions?
Yeah, like whatever else you have, I was wondering things about like finances and or career moving forward because there's some stuff going on right now that's stopping me from being able.
Does one of the careers, do you have to move for one of the career choices?
Not necessarily. I don't. Yeah, I like like I don't have any tangible choice on the table right now. It's just that.
Oh, you will, you will. November brings the choices. November brings the choices. And something about flowing. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm getting a flowing feeling. Flowing. Does that make sense?
That I probably need to flow.
Well, with this, the finances get better. So, and there's a lot of P's and F's around you.
P's and F's like people's names or
Yeah, just places. Anybody from Philadelphia or Pennsylvania? Just kind of keep, if not, just kind of keep that, lots of P's and F's.
okay.
Which are the F in particular, that's a really weird initial for me to be picking up on, but that's kind of something we're connecting the dots and it'll make sense. It'll be the name of a company and stuff, and something about fusion. I'm not sure what that is, fusion, but there's something fusion that's around you.
Okay, fusion. Uh, yeah. The other question is, so I have a pretty serious back injury. I'm in pain right now.
Oh, there's the fusion. That's the fusion.
So
Yeah. Do they have to fuse something? Possibly.
no, not to my knowledge, not that I've
Is
been
it
told.
is it disc stuff?
There's slight disc stuff, but it's mainly like muscular. It's just really, really deep.
Okay.
And it seems like everything I do irritates it. So I've had a hard time healing over the last almost 2 months now. So, and that was why my question about career came up or work or whatever came up because everything that's coming in like is landing on my lap is requiring like physical
Right.
ability and
The
agility.
next time you go to the doctor, ask them, just say the word fusion to them. Because there's certain, I have lower back issues and I did years ago. And it's not really fusion, but what they did is they just kind of injected. It starts with an F. I don't know. I don't even remember what the name is because I just said help me. I don't care what you call it, but it's something where they just kind of put needles, in part of your back, and it really makes it feel better. It's pain management, and it started with an F. So I think that's what I was referring to. So next time go to the doctors, but I do see that they have to do something for you to feel better. So next time, talk to the doctors about that.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's all the time that we have.
Okay, thank you.
All right, hopefully that helped you.
Yes, thank you
Good
so much.
Lanny. You're welcome.
All right, and as someone who knows Steve as well, I know even if he didn't end up studying percussion, he certainly is talented at that, and I've seen him produce music where he's inserted percussion quite perfectly. So, skillfully. So, I don't think you need any school for that, Steve. I think you're already there. And wow. That was awesome, Randy. As always, I know we didn't have we didn't get to everyone who commented and everyone who joined the waiting room, but I'm really glad we were able to get to the people that we did, and I love the way we started, where we had, there we go, right from the start we had Amber Rose jumps in the comments and says hi, and you're like, is there a Rose somewhere? Like, and I'm like, oh, we got to switch gears, and then that was perfect.
Yeah,
so,
can't make that up.
within seconds. Yeah, that was quite perfect.
That's awesome.
Wow.
But we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to be able to receive a reading from Randy, and as you can see in the
right below
and on the banner.
Yes, and above you should see. I know you can't see it, Randy, but it says book your appointment by texting 954-224-1810, and you can meet with Randy for 1 hour. Correct me if I'm wrong, Randy, but 1 hour is $150, or they can do just 30 minutes and for $75, and go in depth and have a private reading with Randy.
And on that, again, on the half-hour ones, I always ask people to have questions, but normally I always start off with whatever I see or feel. But because it's a shorter period of time, to make sure that I do answer whatever questions. Because I have some regulars that they're always 30 minutes, whatever. But I do have some that I do 3-4 hours at a time. I have a whole bunch of that as well. So it's just really, I would say the average person, it's an hour. It's really extensive. Usually people have passed over, will come up. But that hour, it's, we're talking nonstop, so you can take notes and whatever. I don't allow any recordings because weird things happen. But, usually I will tell you, most people will say to me on a day, hey, can you do a reading? And they'll text me. And usually it's the same day. So whatever works for everybody, I'm very flexible, very accommodating, but there's always a message for everybody.
I can attest to that after watching you work your magic in all sorts of settings and and many situations for many different types of people. I'm just seeing in the comments we had E.B. Marshall. Thank you for joining us, or Ebby. And tonight the readings were free for everyone who joined and was able to come live with us. But if you'd like to book an appointment with Randy, as we just talked about her rates, and those are on screen as well for you. And
but if you are interested in another free reading or any mystics we may bring on the show, be sure to like, follow, subscribe us on Facebook.
Because I'll come back again.
Thank you for that. You heard it here first. So at some point in the future, we will definitely have Randy back on, and we really appreciate you, Randy, for
thank you so
for
much
making
for
yourself available, and always love what opens up. And also I think it's awesome that we get to do these live and on Facebook, because there are a lot of skeptics out there. I know I was one of them a long time ago now, but seeing what you do firsthand again and again, there's no amount of science currently that can explain it, but it clearly works, and you clearly are connected. And I love putting this out there so that any skeptics can tune in and can see what you do, how you do it, and all the amazing things that show up.
The amazing thing, and that's where the readings come in. There's always a message, and I mean, it's a very specific message. And a lot of times it's really connecting the dots. And let me do I have time to tell a quick story?
Absolutely.
Okay. This one person that I do, and I read her regularly. And normally I never go that far in advance. Like this was like in January. And, her mom, very elderly, has round the clock care. And I remember in January saying, Halloween, Halloween. I mean, and even to myself, I'm going, wow, I don't think in all these years I've ever been that specific. Well, one other time I was, but in terms of just knowing, and every reading, and it's at least once a week, we always talk about, mom, and I could actually feel what was happening with the mother. And finally in September, I could feel a problem like right here. And I was just feeling it, and it's like I kept saying, your mom is just touching this part of her forehead. And in my readings, it's not even FaceTime; it's just over the phone. And I said, it's the left side of the forehead. And then I was feeling like where the kidneys were, and I'm feeling that. And normally, what I would never do the next day, I actually even reached out to her and I said, I just see problems with her breathing. And again, it's just because, I would rather be wrong. It's never a question that I have to be right when I'm doing this, never. Because I really hope that I'm not right, in predicting, somebody's, passing. But I said to her, it was in October, and we're coming to the end of September, and I'm like, holy moly, like Halloween's coming up, and even I'm getting nervous about this. Well, I had read her, I want to say September 30th, I think it was the 29th or the 30th, and I said, it's going to start in October. I just feel it. I said, she's short of breath. And long story short, October 1, she had a stroke, and I felt so bad. And it's been really touch and go and stuff. And it was right. This is where it happened, in this part of the head. And she had a kidney, she had, an infection and all this other stuff. But the thing is, I said, to the person I'm reading, I said, I really feel really bad, about this is what I'm talking about. She goes, no, she says, actually, I have been preparing and I have done things differently all year in leading up to this. So, and that just reminded me that there's a reason. I have no idea, guys, on where this comes from. And, but it's kind of like I see things like as a movie, I can hear things, I feel things, and there's clarity. I see roads, and I can describe if you want. I see very specific roads that every person is on, and it's like a movie. And I wish I was an artist because I would draw it out. But alas, I cannot. But there are certain things, that the universe does show us, and it's a question of, what is it that you want to know? That's really what it is. And it's not, oh, tell me my future, this or that. It's really things that are going to affect you, that really, because it's the timeline thing that to me is the most important thing. Because it was somebody else, and she was in a very, not a good relationship whatsoever. And I gave her two initials, and that's the guy that she's with. And I said, just keep in mind, the longer you stay in this relationship, you're going to miss. And I gave her the two initials. You're going to miss it. And lo and behold, she was smart, because guess what? It was like a week or two later, that person came into her life, and that's, that is her soulmate and stuff. So the longer you hang on to things for fear, you're really hurting yourself long term only because you might miss out on that timeline. Now,
Hmm.
of course, if you believe that things are meant to be, then that's fine. Then you take your chances. But I like to make things happen and really show the clarity of the roads, and then it's up to you all to decide on what you want to do. It's your life after all. So I can only really guide you through it. Okay.
I love that. It's beautifully said, and I appreciate your willingness to guide people. And I've met quite a few intuitives and mediums and channelers and the like, but never anyone quite like you. And so
That's
happy that
it.
you are willing to share your gift with the world,
Absolutely.
with others, and always from a space of wanting to help people as much as you can. So thank you for what
You're
you do.
welcome.
And I know that
You're
you
welcome.
are someone who you've shared with me. I think you've said it on the stream before that you're like, I don't know how it works, and I'm always like thinking I'm going to show up, and it's just not going to work anymore. Uh,
Absolutely. But it's so funny. It's because it's kind of like I used to actually, maybe about 20 years ago, I could actually feel a click in my head. It was really bizarre. I could actually feel like an on and off switch.
hmm.
And then,
Wow.
because I actually started, when I was in college, where these two people said, "Oh, you're a medium," and I watched what they did, and there was actually a regular deck of cards. That's how I started. It was Emerson College up in Boston. And so I kind of mirrored what she did in the cards, and every card means something. And I only knew really maybe it would never stay in my head what each card means. So I think maybe tops I knew what was maybe 6 or 7 cards. And I remember finally I said to my husband years later, I said, I have this one deck of cards. How could how could the King of Clubs, for example, how could I see the King of Club differently for every single person that I do? That doesn't make sense because the picture card doesn't change. And then what happened, I had some really weird stuff happen. And then I stopped for about a year reading. And then I just kind of picked it up in my head. So obviously, I didn't need the cards anymore. And I don't do tarot. I don't like the tarot cards and stuff. I think they're too eerie. But it's just kind of like I can't explain it. It's just as soon as I know that it's on, bam, the stuff comes through. So,
It's like Krispy
and I
Kreme
don't even
hot
have to,
light. Just
yeah, and I don't even have to see the person. Actually, seeing the person is really more of a distraction for me because all of my readings, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 people, they're all done just by the phone. The one I've done 53 sessions with her, and that they're usually an hour and a half to 4 hours long each one. And we don't even FaceTime. She has no idea what I look like or what have you, because it's just really the voice. It's really the message. It's really the message that's out there. And this way I can't be. But again, this is what I wanted to share with you. So I kept seeing the number 2 and 3, and I said to her about her mother. I said, two. It's like between 2 and 3 o'clock. And then it hit me, and I said, no. I was connecting the dots. I said it's the 23rd, which was Saturday. We started on Friday night, and when I told her this, it was already Saturday.
Hmm.
Okay, because we started at 11 o'clock. I didn't finish till about, I want to say two. It was like a 4 hour session, and I said no, it's 2-3. And then I realized I said it's the 23rd, and we went, oh my gosh, today is the 23rd. And then I realized what it is because we were talking about who would do certain things at her mother's, at the mother's, like the eulogy and stuff. And then it hit me, and it's a rarity, guys, when I'm like freaked out. But it's Psalm 23.
Hmm.
That's what the two. That's what the 2-3-23 is. That one of her daughters will do the reading.
Wow.
So that's kind of like go completely back door, front door. But that's where the two, between two, and I wrote between 2 and 3 p.m. I wrote p.m. because I wrote it down on a piece of paper, 2 and 3 p.m. And then immediately I said, no, it's not 2 and 3 o'clock. It's the 23rd. And then she says, but today's the 23rd. And then I said, the PM, it's the Psalm, Psalm 23. So that's what I'm saying. There's lots of things that people see in their life and it comes in very abstractly, but it's hard when you're in it to be able to see so objectively and clearly. That's kind of where I come in, is to bring clarity to what's been happening, around. So I'm more than welcome to help everybody.
Well, thank you, Randy. We appreciate you, and
Absolutely.
I think this was a
Guys.
perfect way to continue our quote unquote spooky season here with the supernatural, the unexplainable, and I wouldn't say I'm spooked out by what you do. It's certainly supernatural and unexplainable. Whoop. Sorry, pulling out everyone's headphones here.
Here we go.
So thank you again, and hopefully
You're welcome.
everyone watching along got to maybe saw this for the first time or saw Randy for the first time, but hopefully everyone is either the same amount or at least a little more open to the way that we are all connected, and whether we understand how or why now, and maybe we never will. It's certainly clear to me that we are all very connected. So
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so amazing what you do, and we appreciate every bit of it. And for you to come on our show and share it with, as
You guys
many
are
people we
great.
can.
You're the real deal. So my pleasure.
oh well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy, and I will say goodbye to you now, and I'm going to say
Good luck.
goodbye to everyone else as well. Thank you, Randy.
Yes, thank you, Randy, and thank you everyone for
Whoops.
joining us in the comments. Thank you all for who came onto the Zoom and it was able to have a session with Randy, and we look forward to having Randy back on the show and continue to provide more content and more times where we can connect and bring things like psychic awareness to our stream as well. So we hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you give us a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, also Instagram and TikTok as well, and Twitter. Follow our stream, go to corvandersgrill.com. Make sure you support the Patreon. We really could use your support. We want to continue to create and continue to have awesome special guests on this show. So it's patrons like you who help make our show better. So thank you.
Well said.
With that being said, I think the only thing we have coming up this week is, well,
Thanks, Leslie.
Thanks, Leslie. Yes. And when you like the stream, your name shows up on the show. Actually, we won't have game night this Friday, will we?
We will not be hosting game night this
Okay.
Friday, but we might have some. There's a possibility we might have some special guests taking over the stream.
Ooh.
So, definitely, subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified.
Yes.
Normally, we go live every Friday at 8 p.m. to play a new game or maybe explore some fun old games as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes
tabletop, sometimes video games. We do all different things on our show.
Yes,
So,
we do.
I'm curious to know who the special mystery guest for game night might be, but
Who
I guess
knows?
you'll be finding out with us on Friday at 8 p.m.
And we will be out with nature with our Sacred Masculine men's group this weekend.
Yes.
So excited to be camping.
We still have some spaces available, so if you know a man in your life that is interested in connecting with other men and open to conversations around consciousness and healing and just connecting and kind of having a good time, we'll be camping this weekend. So
Lots of yummy food as well.
absolutely, and some kayaking. Send them our way, and we'll be happy to talk to them. Other than that, I think that's all for tonight, and we hope you enjoyed this stream. Until next time,
I'm Corey,
and I'm Lavander.
and we are
Corvander's
Corvander's Grill.
Grill.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.